What it do, guys? Manjoume here, and today we're checking out the Rick and Morty, the Rickdemption deck building game from Cryptozoic and Adult Swim. This is a first printing version, meaning it does have a promo card inside. Now, since it is not sealed, I was told it does in fact have the promo inside. Looking on the front, we have Rick and Morty. We have more Ricks. Here we have the McDonald's nuggets and Szechuan sauce. And we have that on the other side as well. So not too much there. But looking at the back of the box, the Rickdemption deck building game. 9 more games. Morty, 97 more years. What can we tell you about the Rick and Morty, the Rickdemption deck building games? We can give you some answers for money. Now, bro, this is the sequel to Rick and Morty Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind deck building game. We know the Blemflark just tanked, so we won't even force you to buy the original to play this. This game features 2 awesome new card types. Gromflamites are all about collecting access tokens for fun and profit. Council cards allow players to vote for various cool or dangerous effects. It all adds up to the most Wubba Lubba Dub Dub game around. So this one's interesting because it adds different mechanics. The other one had locations that you would go between with the portal gun. This one does seem to have a little more going on. Components: 84 main deck cards, 20 Morty waves, 16 portal gun cards, 7 Nemesis cards, which in the other game I think were just the Council of Rick cards, 50 starting cards, so it goes up to 5 players, 9 access tokens, 15 location cards, 6 oversized Rick, Morty, and summer character cards, as well as a rulebook. Now, this is a Cerebus Engine Heroes game, but as long as it has that same backing that we're used to from Cryptozoic, then hey, it'll work technically with just about any of those games, including the DC deck building game, Naruto deck building game, Attack on Titan, Street Fighter, and of course, any of the DC ones. So here's our location deck coin. Before it was just a coin by itself, but since we have these access tokens, I suppose it makes sense that they come like this. So set those aside. I know my brother likes to keep the cardboard bit, but it's useless. So as for the cards here, one thing I'm a little worried about is the fact that this says Crazy Rick, which is a Rick and Morty 1 card, and I already opened one, so I know this actually should not be here. That's weird. Transcendent Rick, discard a council card, avoid an attack, and draw a card. Hoping we do see that promo card, and I hope that they did not mistake it for that. Bluffing Rick, first time you buy, gain, or steal an access token during each player's turn, draw a card. Moron Morty, each time you buy or gain a card with a cost 3 or less from the lineup, you may put a Morty card from your discard pile on top of your deck. Rational Morty, once during each of your turns, you may discard 2 cards. If you do, draw 1. Heroic Summer, once during each of your turns, you may put a Beth, Summer, or Jerry from your discard pile into your hand. Defiant Summer, +1 power for each different Rick you play during your turn. There's the promo. Okay, I feel a little better about that. Promotion Jerry, each time you buy or gain a Glomflamite, gain an excess token. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and promo 7. And I guess they threw in a Crazy Rick for some reason. Cool, I guess. Then the main deck cards are right here. Ooh, blue backing. That's usually important. This stack is likely the starting cards and non-main deck cards, and this is probably main deck, although I am not entirely sure. The last one was really easy to open up. This one seems to be pretty similar in that respect. Okay, so you have your Genius Waves like last time. They just act as punches. You have your Jerry, which is vulnerability, Beth, and Summer, which is they're all worth nothing. Morty waves are your weaknesses. The Morty waves and Genius waves counteract each other. They cancel each other out, which is very true to the lore and might be a reason you might want to keep these around longer than you otherwise would want to. So that's pretty neat. We have the portal gun, which is the kick of the game. We have different locations. Let's just take a second to look at them. You have Family Restaurant, Ass World 2.0, Cronenberg World 2.0, Citadel Militia HQ, the Citadel of Ricks, the Underground, Jerry's Office, the Dinner Table, Mission Control, the Garage, the Drive-Thru, Space Prison, the Neighborhood, the Grave, and the Presidential Palace. So that's cool with the locations. Uh, is there just the one Gramuflonite? Oh, there's a couple. Okay. So we have Cornelius Daniel, who is a nemesis. So that would be your supervillain. And he starts the game on top of the stack, so you're always going to start with him. Some of the games are like that, where it's like you have to use this guy first. The rest might be randomizable, I guess. This is like one of those crossover sets where it says, well, you start with this one, and then you end with this one, which we'll get into in a second. Second one, and yeah, they all go, no, they don't quite go in order. Okay, so we have that one, the Headband Rick, Earring Rick, Eye Patch Rick, Cornrow Rick, Rick D99, and the final nemesis, another Grumful Knight, who is the Galactic Federation president. So that's pretty cool. And I think this one starts at the end because it has that blue backing. Um, that's what that signifies, I do believe. So that's a cool thing to note. Sweet. Okay, we have Assemble. These are the council cards, one of which is stuck to another one. There we go. So we actually have two Assembles, two Rezones, two Persecute. Let's see, two Recycle, two Taxations, two Kickbacks, an Embezzle, and a Gentrify. More Gromflamites, so that actually makes more with the Jerry card. I thought it was just the two. You have Gromflamite Technician, the Employee of the Month, Mission Control 1, Honorable 1, Communications 1, Officer, a Greedy 1, and a General. Pretty neat. Going back to the Morty cards, which I think were the heroes of the last set. Eye Popping Morty, Bugged Out Morty, Aqua Morty, which I think was in the last one, Big Head Morty, Lawyer Morty, Hammerhead Morty, Scientist Morty, and Morty C137. Next we have the Fake Gun, the Butt in a Cup, Conroy, Dead Flies, Brainalyzer 9000, Freeze Gun, Jury Rigged Portal Gun, Portal Bomb. Then going on to the Ricks, or the villains, we have the Security Specialist Rick, Future Rick, Black Rick, Young Rick, Lizard Rick, Aqua Rick, Commander Rick, and Rick C137. Now for the special cards or the superpowers, we have the Pill Brulee, Fold Yourself, Terminate, Daddy's Little Girl, Szechuan Sauce, Diane Sanchez. See, these two stuck together. The Totally Fabricated Origin Story, and last but not least, Currency Manipulation. Now that is everything that comes in the Rickshaw Redemption deck building game, the sequel to the original Rick and Morty deck building game. I can't wait to play this by itself with the first one, and then also add it to the multiverse of cards that we have in the DC deck building game, which This year in 2024, we'll get new additions when the Kickstarter stuff starts to come in. If you're looking for a podcast to listen to and you want to learn more of the Spider-Man of the future, Spider-Man 2099, check out Accelerated Visions, a Spider-Man 2099 podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere you can find podcasts. If DC is more your thing and you want to learn more about the King of the Seven Seas, check out Water Damage, an Aquaman podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere you can find podcasts. Every so often on those podcasts, we will be having episodes that aren't necessarily related to the titular characters. For example, in the DC one, we might be covering other characters at times as a preview of sorts for another sister podcast. If it catches any ground and people like what they listen to, then we will continue on with the series. Be sure to follow on those platforms, and if you're able to, leave a rating on Apple Music and Spotify. It really does help us to reach more people, and that is ultimately what we want to do, is to teach and share the love of these characters that may not be getting the most spotlight. Are there plenty of Spider-Man podcasts? Yes. Are there plenty of Spider-Man 2099 podcasts? I'm going to say lesser so. Are there plenty of Batman podcasts? Yes. Superman? Also yes. Aquaman? Not super many. I'm going to say more than there are Spider-Man 2099, but not too many. And I do believe ours is the first that is Aquaman centric and not sharing spotlight with another character. If you want to stay up to date, my videos and live streams both YouTube and Twitch, check out links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining. That's all for now, guys. Manjoume out.